Hi guys, today we'd like to talk about one case from industry court cases based on the termination, and we are group 7. So here are our group members as you guys can see. So I'm the first presenter today, and I will talk about background of the case, and so let's begin of this. This case is an industry court case brought by the Sebastian Madia Bomi against the SIMME Malaysia SDM BHD. At the heart of the argument is the employers believe that even if he is fired, he should not be fired immediately. And the employee believe there is no reason for immediate dismissal. And this background, the time of the case was from April 28 to May 6, 2015. The employee was assigned by the company to get out of to work and stay at Indoor Bari Hotel Incorporation with the SIMME. And during his stay, the man harassed hotel workers, setting off hours. On May 12, 2015, the hotel emailed the SIMME about these events of May 3, 2015. And also on the May 28, 2015, a letter was sent to the employee regarding the reason for termination, including all complaints from the hotel employee against that employee from SIMME. Okay, and also the SIMME gave the following reason for his immediate dismissal. As you guys can see, there are 8 background reasons, and the first one is being upset and yelling at hotel guests and staff, and 2 is sexual harassing the hotel bar staff, touching and holding her hand, and try to kiss her and crossing her when she refused. And 3rd is fighting with the hotel guests, including hitting guests on the head. And 4 is beat up the hotel staff, struggle him, then try to kiss. Oh my God. And 5 is attempting to throw objects and at the hotel guests and employees. 6 is failure to comply with express and implied terms of employment, including misconduct policies and procedures set forth in the employer employment policy and the employer code of business conduct. 7 is damage the interest and the reputation of the employer. It is very unethical. Any reasonable person would see that employees would not trust the worth. Okay, that's all the background to the case and what caused the argument. And next part, my partner will describe more detail to you about this case. How did it happen?
Hello everyone, my name is Ko Qiuying. My matric number is 204805. I'm from group 7. I will introduce part 2, description of the case. The employer received an email on 12 May 2015 from the hotel regarding an accident on 3 May 2015, describing the employee as being drunk and misbehaving at the hotel bar. On 13 May 2015, the employee was called for a meeting with his manager and a HR representative, where he was verbally questioned. On 12 May 2015, the employee sent an email apology to the hotel. The employee issued a showcase letter to the employee on 28 May 2015, enclosing the original complaint from the hotel. The employee responded in writing on 1st June 2015 and admitting to all the allegations and was informed that his case would be discussed by a disciplinary committee on 24 June 2015. On 30 June 2015, the employee was called for a meeting with the employer's country decision leader and the head of HR, and was handed a letter of termination and informed that his employment was being terminated. Okay, that's the description of the case. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fu Weijie, and my metric number is 204755. Part 3, the main contradiction between the employer and the employee in this case. The incident was caused by the employee being drunk and misbehavior in the hotel bar. Therefore, the employer decided to dismiss the employee because the employer believed that his misconduct and caused very serious damage to the company's reputation and violated the code of business conduct in the terms of employment that the employee knew. However, the employee disputed that he believed he was alone at the hotel bar in his free time, not wearing work clothes. He considers this to be in his own personal space and not during his working time. He also claimed that he is not wanted and any discipline and his repressed job, so he did not think the dismissal was justified. Is the employee's alleged misconduct substantiated? The facts and evidence before the industrial court clearly show that the employee's irresponsible conduct and the hotel led the company to dismiss him with sufficient reason. The employee acknowledged the conduct listed in the hotel's complaint. So the company acted impartially and for real reason. The industrial court's decision of the dismiss the employee's grant of appeals did not go beyond any reasonable response. In other words, it is actually within the range of responsible acts. The employee argued that what he did after working time was personal and was done in his own free time. But it turns out that he still at the hotel paid by the company for his work that day. Therefore, it cannot be said that anything he did was unrelated to the job. So it would be wrong to dismiss it as misconduct. It turns out that the employee's action will be sufficient to alter the company's reputation as a Messiah principal company. Accordingly, the court concluded that the employee's dismissal decision was within a responsible response. The facts and evidence before the industrial court clearly show that the employee's irresponsible behaviors at the hotel led the company to dismiss him for sufficient reason. The company simply acted on the case. Therefore, the court found that the employee's conduct in the reason was just and upheld the dismissal.
Hello everyone, my name is Li Jiangfeng and my project number is 201629. So that's my PowerPoint, and my part is how are the cases problem solved. It means making decision and making recommendations, and what challenging you faced. So firstly, I will talk about how it's solved. So since employer's behavior occurred during business trips, his personal behavior, whether it was working time or personal time, to a certain extent responds the company's imagine. At the same time, what he did indeed damages the interest of the hotel and had a great impact on the company's reputation. And the staff also admitted that he had damaged the hotel, and she also admitted that it was indeed cases to the goods of the hotel, say safety habits and sexual harassment, which means that he admits that everything he has done is detrimental to the company's image, so he must pay his actions. Due to the violation of the employer's code of the conduct, battery and sexual harassment in the hotel at the public expenses, the company's image has been seriously affected. Although there was an email to remedy the incident, it was dropped in the back bucket, so he was ordered to be fired. Here, I recommend that the companies resolutely fire the employer. At the same time, conduct an investigation on personal behavior and personal morality of employers, and this means transfer employers who has misbehaviors and more misconduct from the important precedents. At the same time, the hotel will be competent to harass female employers, and the threatened guests will be pierced, and the related expenses will be borne. It is also recommended that the hotel and the communicate effective surveillance video and evidence of damage in order to mention the implement of the judgment and avoid assistance. So as for the challenge is about the question is what happens to employers during business or personal time while traveling. At the same time, because I was interested, there was especially and the other influence that made him confused. Sexual harassment and damage to the hotel's financial damage to possible interest, because it happening during a business trip to a parade. It was started by some difficult personal times, means taking responsibility for yourself, but it is ruins the images of the company. Moreover, during the business trip, all expenses are reimbursed by the company. There are two conflict costs and challenges faced in the judgment, but they destroyed the behavior of employers.
Okay, so let's start the chapter 5, which is how to avoid similar cases in future business activities. So the first one is retain sufficient evidence. and look for relevant laws to safeguard the interest of the company. Because avoiding giving unethical employees the potential to sue the company. In business activities, this is unavoidable to encounter conflicts, such as company reputation, company earnings, employees' moral. So violations against employee should be protected and compensated. One thing that need to be clear is that companies can not only use legal weapons, but also avoid some potential risks brought by employees through a sound company system. And the second, which is the human resource department should set up a complete assessment mechanism, not just the assessment when applying for job. Assessment on the job should be also included, in addition to the routine assessment factor, such as routine performance and workability. The assessment should be also focused on moral level of employees. Background checks should be conducted. And the third, which is formulate a sound salary structure, maintain fair distribution and procedural justice. Treating employees' contributions fairly can increase employees' loyalty and empower employees to improve themselves. And the last one is formulate a sound performance management method and motivate excellent employees fairly and reasonably to encourage employees to compete with each other. And companies need a reward system to maintain and improve the reputation of their employees.
Hello everyone, my name is Li and my entry number 205120. My party is conclusion. The case was brought by Sebastian Mattia Bome against the Siemens Malaysia in the industry court. The core argument is that the employee believes that even if he was fired, he should not be fired immediately, and that the employee sees no reason to be fired immediately. The case took place between April 28 and May 6, 2015. The employee sexually harasses a woman and threw things around the hotel, causing a lot of negative impact. The facts and the evidence of the industry court clearly show that the employee's irresponsible behavior at the hotel caused the company sufficient grounds to dismiss him. At the same time, the court held that the employer had acted fairly in the circumstances and upheld the dismissal. Employees represent the image of the company to some extent, both during working hours and during non-working hours. At the same time, his actions have a great impact on all parties, so he must pay for his actions. If a letter of apology didn't help, so he was fired. There are several challenges that employees face: how to behave when they are not at work, and how to behave when they have been drinking. Conflicts between the negative impact and the economy loss caused by business trip, and the companies need further compensation. At the same time, the company faces the challenges of maintaining its image in future business activities. Sufficient evidence should be written and relevant laws should be sought to protect the interests of the company. Human resource managers should establish a sound assessment mechanism, formulate a sound salary structure, and develop sound performance management methods to avoid similar situation. Okay, that's all for our group. Thank you.